So part 2 of the analysis of the transverse sections of the shoulder. Now, just to remind you, the transverse means that we are cutting in this direction, yes. The coronal would be we would get from top down with the face to the anterior. The sagittal would be like that, yes. Okay, so coronal would be like that, yes. So now we are getting to the transverse, yes, so transverse sections of the organism. And this is just the part 2. Well, let's go. What's interesting you can see here? Of course, the usual bones that will not go all the way through because you already know them. We can see the conjoint tendon of the coracobrachialis and the bicep and the short head of the biceps brachii. Yeah, so the biceps and because the biceps B has two heads, yes, the long head and the short head. The short head, the tendon of the short head, so the ending of the short head, is joining the coracobrachialis muscle, and they both are getting into the coracoid process, yes, in the conjoint tendon. So in the joint tendon, in the conjoint tendon, this is a name they get here. The tendon from the long head of the biceps brachii is here. It's between the greater tuberosity and the lesser tuberosity, and it attaches just above the glenoid. And this is important that it gets here. Why it's important? Because thanks to it, it's also kept thanks to in the intertubercular groove by the intertubercular ligament. Yes, so there is this intertubercular ligament. It's not well seen, but it is there, and this is this intertubercular groove. Yes, so the ligament is kept here in this spot, but the ligament is kept here, but also the ligament keeps the bone. Yes, so this is the additional thing that adds some stability to the glenohumeral joint. Stability that is so crucial because, as you can see, there is a lot of potential directions where the head of the humerus can go. So, about new things, I suppose. Oh, okay. I will start seeing the pectoralis minor. Yes. Tendon. Okay, and now let's go one more time. We see now quite nicely the glenoid neck, the scapular body, the infraspinatus muscle is here, also here because we are far below the spine of the scapula. The deltoid is very big in this transverse section. Very big, well, big. Subscapularis muscle, of course, also nicely seen below, and we have seen generally all of the other structures, still the glenoid, still the head, still the bicipital intertubercular groove with the tendon of the long head of the biceps brachii. Okay. Okay, so in this case we see the glenoid neck. We go on with this, the subscapularis muscle, the infraspinatus, the deltoid muscle, the head with the lesser tuberosity and intertubercular groove. Yes. Maybe this intertubercular groove is not well seen here because the greater tubercle is ending a bit, but still the biceps brachii is kept there, and the tendon of the long head of the biceps brachii is still here, and it helps to give this stability. Okay, here this I already told you about the transverse humeral ligament, and it's nicely seen in this spot. Yes, so this is keeping the tendon of the long head of the biceps brachii in place, and the bone also to some extent. Here we can see also that the glenoid labrum is not only not only between the scapula and the head of the humerus, it's also getting to the sides, yes, as you can see. So this is really important structures that helps us in maintaining stability. And on the border of our vision, we also start to see something like the pectoralis major, for example, and pectoralis minor, that is below it. Yes, so pectoralis major is this big muscle on the anterior of the chest, and pectoralis minor is behind it. We also see important structures like the axillary vein and axillary arteries and some lymph nodes. Those axillary artery will change into the brachial artery, and this is the most important arteries of the upper limb. Okay. Here we go on with the same topic. I suppose we have seen everything. Oh no, we did not see teres minor. So here we have the teres minor. Yes, it's not well divided. The rest of the I got too far. Yes, so generally here is the teres minor. Okay, and still we see the axillary artery and vein. Generally, these big arteries are usually next to the big veins. In most of the cases, but of course not all. Like in all cases in medicine, we have a lot of... no, never mind. Okay, so now we see quite nicely this conjoint tendon that will be in a moment. The biceps brachii muscle and tendon of the short head, and the coracobrachialis muscle and the tendon are here, yes? And we can see that they are getting close to each other, and they will create this conjoint tendon that is getting to the coracoid process. Still we see these important arteries and veins, so the axillary artery and vein. Okay, pectoralis minor, pectoralis major, deltoid is still prominent, humerus is still prominent, the teres minor, the triceps brachii, long head, yes, tendon. This is something new, I will stress it. Yes, so we have the long head of the triceps brachii here. We also see the infraspinatus, the subscapularis, so nothing new about this. Okay. So, we see the pectoralis major, pectoralis minor, pectoralis major, pectoralis minor as previously. We see also the deltoid muscle, we see the humerus, we see the tendon of the long head of the biceps brachii. We see increasing sizes of the tendons and muscles of the short head of the biceps and the coracobrachialis muscle. We need to remember that both of those muscles are at the anterior. Here we start also to see bigger and bigger triceps brachii of the long head, and of course teres minor. The scapular body is getting progressively smaller because, as you can see, we are here, and the scapula is triangular. Yes, so it would just get smaller and smaller. Okay, the humerus, the deltoid, and still those important arteries that we need always to remember about. So the axillary vein and axillary artery. Okay, and this is also nothing very new, but here we can see quite nicely the anterior inferior glenohumeral ligament and capsule. The deltoid muscle is getting fit, but never mind. Triceps brachii, the long head, the scapular body, the teres minor, the coracobrachialis muscle, the biceps, the biceps muscle and the tendon of the short head, the subscapularis muscle, things like that. So here we have see the humeral diaphysis. So yes, we are just below the head. And latissimus dorsi is showing up. The triceps brachii is getting bigger because we are getting from the part that we have only the tendon, now we have the tendon and the muscle. And the deltoid muscle is also getting bigger. The biceps brachii, long head, still next to the bone. The pectoralis minor, the auxiliary artery, the biceps brachii, muscles and short head, and of course the coracobrachialis muscle that they are getting close to each other. Teres major is showing up. The scapular body, as we told already previously, it's getting shorter and is getting smaller and smaller in the cross section. You have the teres minor, the triceps brachii we already told about. Okay. So here we have the one more time triceps brachii, the lateral head. Wait a moment. Okay, so here we have seen the triceps brachii muscle long head is getting even bigger. And its tendon is also here. Okay. Teres major is also increasing in size. The axillary arteries and veins are still here. They would quite soon will get. Never mind. To the brachial arteries, but we'll see it in a moment, I suppose. Biceps brachii muscle short head is here, so it's getting far bigger. Yes, the pectoralis major, the pectoralis minor, the deltoid muscle, and humeral diaphysis. Still, we have this biceps brachii long head tendon. Okay.